This time on the Shred School, we're going to learn the plasma spin, which is a frontside big spin that wraps like an impossible, which sounds hard, but it's really not. So let's give it a try. Welcome back to Rad Rat Video, the channel where you can learn something new about skateboarding 3 times a week. Subscribe and you can learn about your favorite pros, you can learn about skateboarding video games, and you can learn tricks here on the Shred School, where today we're going to learn the plasma spin. And I think this is a really cool trick. It's one of my favorites because it feels really good. It flows really well. The way that it wraps and comes together really has a unique feel that I really like. And it's also kind of different. It's unique, it looks cool, so I think it's worth learning. There are a couple things that people don't like about it though. I think one of the biggest problems is that it's not related to anything. You know, you can't build off of it and then add in a flip or something like that. All you could really do is land it in a pivot, but there's not much else you can do after it. So it's kind of a standalone trick, which isn't the best. Also, the foot position when you're first learning it is really weird, which I'll show you, but you don't need to stick to that. You can work on that and get it a little bit more normal in the future. So I don't think that's a big complaint either. So no one really does these at a professional level. It's more like that weird tech dude at the park will do them, but no one's really taken it to the next level. But maybe it'll be you. You never know. People are doing like Sigma flips and stuff all the time now, so you might be the guy to popularize plasma spins, but you got to learn it first. So let's get started. All you need to know when you're getting into the trick is how to ollie and how to frontside 180, I guess. Like I said, it's not really related to anything. If you can pressure hard flip, that'll help because you need to pop the edge of the tail, but it's not that similar. You can get by without it. Also, if you can do a trick that wraps like an impossible, that helps, but this wrap is the opposite direction, so it doesn't help that much. So you don't really need to do that much to get into it. Just go ahead and give it a try, and you might find that it comes together without too much work. So let's get into the foot position. Normally I'm sitting on a couch, but I'm in the middle of my work day trying to squeeze this in real quick, so have to make do. Front foot, somewhere like this, it'll help to have your toe hanging off because you need to balance out your back foot. The only thing your front foot does is go straight up to your chest and just stay there the whole time. So not too important. Your back foot, this is where it gets weird. I do mine like this, which is how you do a pressure hard flip. Toe tipped slightly backward and then you scoop through it like that. But when you're first learning the trick, what a lot of people find easier, the way I did them for a long time, is with your foot, not like this, but like this. And that's why there's a big barrier to entry to this, because you got to get past this part. But your toe is actually going to be on the heel side of the board. And the way that helps is because the board wraps like this. So if you can get your foot in that position before you even start the trick, then it makes it a lot easier. For me, I've gotten to a point where I can start it this way, then shift my foot around and wrap it the other way. But when you're first learning it, it's probably going to be a lot easier to start with your foot really backwards and weird. So just do this one in your own driveway, not at the skate park for a while before you get through that. But it will help you a lot when you're first getting into it. So the biggest part for me that makes this trick difficult is the timing, because it's not like an impossible where you actually scoop it and it wraps all the way around. It feels more like a late trick. Okay, so when you first start, you're gonna roll up, you face forward. You can wind up a tiny bit, but you don't really need to throw the trick around. You kind of face forward, and then your first step, all you have to focus on is popping the edge, the side of the tail down, and getting it to start flipping, and then waiting. You wait forever. Getting the timing right is the hardest part, and it can sometimes take a while. You pop the board, you start it flipping, and then you wait. Okay, now you start. And that can be pretty tough. If you start to wrap a little bit too early, you'll probably catch it and it'll start to flip and go flying away. If you're not getting a good wrap, you just have to wait a little bit longer. And it's tough, but you'll get used to it after a while. So the good thing about that wait though is that it gives you time to switch your foot around. So if you pop it normally like me, the board starts to flip, your body's starting to go, and then your foot gets into position before you start the wrap. So in that sense, it's kind of, it's tough to explain. It's like an impossible, if you are familiar with that trick. That's where the board spins like a regular impossible, but you switch it to your front foot. So it's like a backside front foot impossible. Well, this trick is sort of like you're popping it, spinning around, and doing a switch impossible. I don't know if that helps. That trick's probably even more rare than this one, but that is how it works. So the board's flipped over. Your foot is, the outside of your foot is against the grip tape. And all you really do at this point, because the board's popped and flipped, all you do is you kick forward. And it'll kind of follow through on its own. And that's what makes the trick so good, is that once the trick starts, you're pretty much done. You don't have to like wrap it around like a front foot impossible. There's a lot of like motion once you're in the air. With this one, once you kick through, you just kind of let the board spin around your foot. And that's what makes it so cool, because it just kind of happens. So the board's starting to spin around. The toughest thing at this point is getting your front foot up, because the way that the wrap is, sometimes it'll go like straight up and down. And so your back foot is like, your back leg is straight, you know, and then as you're pulling it up, your front foot's got to be way up here to clear it. So that can be kind of tough when you're getting into it. Pull that foot way up and just wait, but you can get used to it. You can practice the wrap if it's not working by doing a step off, you know, like have your foot here, step off, plant it, and try to wrap it. And that'll help, but I wouldn't do it too much, because one of the toughest things is keeping that front foot up out of the way. So if you're taking it out of the equation at all, it's not really helping you that much, but it will help with the wrap slightly. But if you're able to get the wrap right, landing it is pretty easy. It stays with you. You're not really spinning that much, because you're kind of just facing forward and pulling it around. So you can land pretty solid. But if that one is not working that well for you, you can also try fakie. When I first learned the trick, I found fakie a lot easier. Nowadays, not so much. But when I was first learning them, you can land them normal, and you can kind of cheat. You can, you know, you don't have to rotate 100%. You can under rotate a little bit and land easier if you start fakie. So that's an option if you're having trouble as well. All that's left to do is watch some of the ones that I filmed. The whole city is covered in ice, so I found this tiny little spot where I could skate, but hopefully they get the job done for you. Take a look at how my back foot works, how it pops the side and then wraps around like that. Hopefully you should get this one without too much trouble. It's really not that bad once you get used to the weird new technique. So good luck with that one, and until the next time, here are some more videos you can check out. I have a lot of tricks on the shred school. I've been doing this for like 12 years. So watch those, and I've got all kinds of other stuff. Make sure you subscribe by tapping my logo on screen right there as well. Thanks for watching.